Welcome everyone to the Drip G podcast. I'm your host, Uncle Jeeb, and with me is host Drip Media Gaming and our new friend Daniel in the chat. We record this podcast live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You'll listen to this podcast on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere you listen to podcasts. You also watch this podcast live on YouTube every Wednesday at 8 p.m. like Daniel just found tonight. And for some reason, Daniel's our guest host tonight. Daniel, how you doing? Just kidding. Drip, what's up, man? We made a new friend in the chat tonight, Drip. I like making new friends.
Yeah, me too. I'm doing great. Man, Nintendo just gave us a bunch of stuff today, just randomly.
Yeah.
Like, we had nothing to talk about, really. We're just like, well, I guess we'll talk about where is the Switch 2? And then they just dropped all kinds of shit today. So I'm kind of happy about that. I'm actually very excited to talk about most of that stuff, because I feel like actually some of this stuff is going to kind of go along with where is the Switch 2. I got some tinfoil hat stuff we're going to go into much later in the episode, but like I said, I don't have a tinfoil hat, but I do have this bucket that I can wear.
Oh my god, you got a whole bucket! Holy shnikey!
Yeah, my mom gave. I was down there the other day. She was like, "Hey, you want this bucket?" I was like, "Sure." It's got a bottle opener on the side,
dude,
so it's like one of those
cool.
like beer bucket
things. That's
things.
awesome. So funny story. I bought an identical bucket to that, except for it's Yingling branding all over, because I love Yingling and it's my Philly roots. So I bought it off Amazon. It was not cheap, and I used it for what I thought. It was like we were throwing a party. I was like, oh cool, I can use this. I put ice in it, and it's not fucking like. It just
sealed,
it just fucking leaked out. All the ice leaked out of it. I'm like,
see, I can tell this one. You can tell. Ooh. You can
just do the whole podcast.
I put it to my face, and I was like, okay, here we go.
Oh my god, you sound like a 50s radio host right now. Do something, say something.
See, you put me on the spot. I don't even know what to say.
Oh, welcome to the show, everybody.
Welcome to the show. Come on down.
Who needs audio filters when you got a bucket?
I got a bucket.
But no, you can tell.
This one is definitely sealed.
You can see it's got a nice little seal around the bottom.
Hey, listen, I can already tell this podcast has old school Drip Dream written all over it, because I am already getting a little drunk.
I know. You already told me before we started this show that you're feeling it. So I was like, okay, I guess I should probably at least try.
How did we do shows where we were always drunk? Every show we did prior to 2023, we were drunk both of us were drunk.
Yeah.
Every show.
2023 is when we really started laying off.
Let's not get drunk and try really hard.
Let's maybe do a show. Let's actually do a show. I'm glad we decided to do that, because the shows have actually been a lot better since then.
Oh, we've been on an upward climb since 2022 for sure. And I'm drinking tonight, so maybe this episode might be on a decline, but that's okay.
Hey man, the Phillies are down, so Jeeb's also getting down. Fine.
I'm getting down with a wicked, whatever this thing's called, this cider from Aldi I drank last week too. I'm not gonna no, Johnny, don't fuck with me, Johnny. Johnny's in our chat trying to tell me the Phillies are doing something right now.
No, don't.
They're not.
Don't.
Johnny, you're gonna be if you do another thing like that, you're banned. I'm banning you. I'm drunk and I'm banning you. Anyway, I'm not actually drunk. Let's get to a couple of things of business here that we got to do right now. Drip, first thing we got to do is read our review of the week, and that, my good friend, is nothing to read. We have no new review. So guys, if you didn't know, we do a review every week. We read somebody's review, and everyone who writes a review is entered automatically to win a $40 eShop gift card. I'm sorry, a $50 eShop gift card. You can enter to win a $50 eShop gift card if you leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. So please go to Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star review to enter to win a $50 eShop gift card that we're going to give away at the end of the year. This is going to be a sponsored segment right now from Moped. Drip. Drip, we both tried a bunch of third-party Joy-Cons. I think we both can say that the Moped M6 HDs are the best we've ever used. Hands down. From the mechanical buttons to the HD rumble, they aren't lacking any features. None. They got it all. And that goes to Moped's other products, like the Moped Chai 2, a Pro Controller alternative, the Moped Nintendo Switch dock, and the Moped M6S, a cheaper alternative to the M6 HDs. Drip, I can't think of one product the Moped has that isn't high quality.
Everything on their site is definitely high quality. I have all of them here. I can speak from experience. The M6 HDs is what I have on my Switch right here, right now, in black. You can get them in black now. I know a lot of people wanted them in black. They are available in black. This is all I use at this point. It's literally these or a controller because it's on the TV. And sometimes I don't even use a controller. Sometimes I just still use these when I'm on the TV. They're great. That's all I use.
Yeah, you guys can find the Moped products over at Moped's website. That link is down below in our description. You can also follow them on Facebook. Make sure to follow Moped on Facebook to stay up to date with what they got going on over there. Last time we followed Moped on Facebook, they leaked the Switch too early, and
they did,
and they're probably gonna be spot on about it.
Yeah,
not a joke.
That's crazy.
So, thank you, Moped, for sponsoring today's episode. Drip. I'm going to switch to water from right now because I can already.
I think
this
that's
is
a fantastic
This is going down.
idea.
I can feel my head going downhill from here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's get some water in you, and let's talk about the first thing we're going to talk about here. Nintendo announced brand new hardware
Hooray.
this morning. G.
They did.
Brand new hardware.
What did Nintendo announce this morning? Drip, brand new hardware wise.
It's an alarm clock.
Oh no!
I'm sorry. Come
Alarm
again.
clock. It's an alarm clock. An alarm clock.
You mean the thing that yells at you and rings at you when you're trying to get some sleepies?
Yes, but not only does it yell at you and wake you up and make weird noises when you move and track your motion, it also costs $100.
Oh.
And on top of that, if that wasn't bad enough for you, you have to also be a Switch Online member to even be able to buy the fucking thing.
What a
which is
privilege!
hilarious.
What a privilege to have the opportunity to buy a $100 alarm clock for being a subscriber of a service that is already arguably overpriced.
I honestly thought when I first saw this morning, I watched this 5-minute trailer. I'm like,
5 minutes for an alarm clock?
It's a 5-minute trailer, and I'm like, this has to be a joke. At the end of this, they're going to be like, just kidding, guys. Here's the Switch 2. Like, this has to be a joke. It has to be. It's not. It's not. But what's funny is there were all these little leaks and of patents. Not leaks. I guess patents were filed from Nintendo. But it was stuff that was like sensing people's motion. And it was something weird about seeing people like moving. It was some weird patent, but it's clearly this. This is what it was. So it wasn't a Switch 2 thing. It wasn't anything where we're getting some weird, crazy thing in the Switch 2. It's just for their $100 alarm clock. That I mean, I gotta say the things it does. It's at least interesting, but I don't know if I would want that in my room. So when it starts going off, if you guys haven't seen it, it'll go off and it'll do whatever noise, whatever music from whatever game you have set.
Yeah,
like
there's 5 games. It's Splatoon, Mario, Zelda, Pikmin, and Xenoblade, I think.
No, it wasn't Xenoblade.
Was it not Xenoblade? I'm not sure. There's a 5th one. I can't remember.
It was 5. I can't remember what the 5th one is either. And then Mario Kart and Animal Crossing to come.
Cool.
But as you start moving around and rolling around, for the Mario one, it like you start hitting the little coin jingle. Like, you know, when you pick up coins,
yeah.
ba-bing, 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 ba-bing,
We should
ba-bing.
add that sound effect. That's a good one.
Like, what? Why? I just don't understand. Like, what? Let me ask you. Let me just ask. I just can't. I don't get it.
I feel you, man.
And I don't even know how to put this into words. Like, let's say you have an alarm clock in the morning you're waking up to. Is it good? Like, is that something that you want? Like, more random noises just going off as you move?
I don't know.
Is that
I'm
like
not sure how I feel
like a
about this.
motivator to help you get? Is that a motivator to help you get up, or is that something that's like super annoying? I feel like that's really annoying.
I gotta be honest. I am somebody who needs an alarm clock and uses an alarm clock when I need to get up early or get up to at a specific time. But with that being said, even though I need an alarm clock, I still manage to wake up like minutes prior to my alarm, because when I'm in my rhythm, when I'm in my groove, especially when I'm employed, gainfully employed, and have this specific time of day I get up every day, I typically use the alarm and I'm up right about the time. Like, my body gets up naturally. My body adjusts to that time and I get up. And what I'm getting at is I basically have my finger like ready to go on the alarm clock and I also get up.
So this wouldn't even be fun for you.
No, it wouldn't. I would never need this. It doesn't mean I wouldn't buy one, but I would never need this because I'm the kind of guy who would get up and as soon as that alarm goes off, like the second it goes off, I'm pressing the button. Rare occasions I'm snoozing, or even more rare, I don't even hear it at all. Like I'm always I'm ready to go. And it's not that I don't need an alarm clock. It's that the alarm clock helps train my body to get up at a specific time. And
I'm still
it's part of the process. I have built-in fail-safes for snooze, as predictably as you guys might think that is. So like what I do is I set my alarm like for the time I need to get up, but I also set an alarm for like 10 minutes prior. So I set a regular alarm for 10 minutes prior, wakes me up. So then for 10 minutes, I'm sitting there with my eyes closed, but I'm like, okay, let me just enjoy the last 10 minutes of warm bed. And then the alarm goes off for the second time. And I have a choice. I can get up then, or I can snooze for 5 minutes and then I get up. But I'm very disciplined when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I get up right away. So this product, okay, for how it worked for me, if I understand how it works correctly, I believe the way it works is after you get up, you don't really need to touch it.
It just knows that you're up.
And it knows that you're up, and after you get up, it starts playing different music, like celebration music, which I think is kind of cool, and it turns itself off. That's the big thing. And I think that's actually awesome. I would love that, because then it would kind of make getting up in the morning less stressful, because it's the turning the alarm off part that's stressful. So if they can remove that equation for me, and they just know when I get up, and they play happy music, and when I hear the happy music, I know is when the alarm is successfully off, and it's like, okay, great, I can start my day now. That's interesting. I think it's
for $100.
So hold on, we'll get there. We'll get to $100 in a minute. But I want to say this: this is made for children. Like very clearly, this is for kids. Okay, let's just start with the game lineup. I mean, Splatoon, Pikmin. Not that those. I'm not. Anyone who loves those games.
The fifth one's Ring Fit, by the way.
Oh, yeah, it's Ring Fit. I'm not saying those games are childish games by any means, but Nintendo is a company that is aiming toward a younger market. No doubt. We've talked about this before. Nintendo is aiming. The Nintendo's demographic is younger kids. This product is aimed for parents to buy for their kid to get up in the morning, but have in a fun way. Like I think about my nephew's bedroom, all the fun things he has. My brother buys for him, and we buy for him, and all this cool stuff he's got. You know, this is just another thing I think would be really cool for a little kid to have in their bedroom. I'm not judging an adult who buys this, but I am telling you, I do believe this product is aimed for kids and to help them get up, how to learn how to use an alarm, how to teach them. Responsibilities on how to get up early and stuff like that.
Though. I don't think it is. I don't think it's marketed towards kids. There's adults in the commercial. This does like sleep tracking and like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It makes no sense to me why this is a product from a game company, a company who makes video game consoles and video games. Why are they making some type of smart, why? It makes zero sense.
I mean, I have an answer.
They're charging $100.
I have the answer, and you just said it. It's $100. It's money. A sucker's going to buy this. A man named by the name of John Ebo is going to buy this because he's a sucker, and he's going to throw it in the trash too because he's a sucker as well for cash. But it's for suckers, man. Like it's for kids, and it's for people who just love the IP so much. And honestly, I'm one of those suckers. Like, if I could afford to just spend $100 on a useless alarm clock, then I would. But I know that that's not smart for my financial decisions right now, so I'm not going to buy one for that reason.
I'm sorry, it's not smart for anybody's financial decisions.
What I'm saying is, if I had the dispendable income to just spend $100 on something I don't need, like an alarm clock of this caliber, I would, because I'm a sucker for. I would love to wake up to the Guardian music. I saw that on Twitter. Could you imagine waking up to the Guardian music? Like, it'd be so cool.
No, I don't want to wake up to that.
I do. Yeah, it would get me up, man.
Well, put it on your phone. Just put it on your phone to go off.
Drip it. Something that we need to, we don't need to discuss it, but we need to think about. I think as the newer generation comes in, I don't know what the new generation's name is, whatever their generation title is, but I believe a resurgence is happening with single-use devices, like not all-in-one devices. Like our smartphone does everything for us, but kids these days, they want a camera, they want a computer, they want a cell phone, they want a tablet, and they want 15 other devices that are single-use devices. That's trendy right now, is to like have things that do things. And to an extent, I get that. I am, especially when it comes to like my streaming, video making, and audio equipment, I like single-use devices. I don't want an all-in-one device. I want separate devices because it's more useful to me. So in like a newer generation sense, I can understand this product because it's like, my phone, man, I want to keep my phone in the other room because the internet told me it's trendy and healthy to keep my phone in the other room while I'm sleeping. So I still need an alarm clock. So let's buy this as an alarm clock. And so I can kind of see that this is very much marketed toward younger people, I feel like.
You know what else is in my room?
I do.
Alexa is in my room. You know who sets my alarm?
Alexa, play the Drip and G podcast.
Alexa, stop.
That got picked up on the mic too. That's great.
She does my alarms for me. She does it.
Yeah.
And you know what? When I tell her to snooze, she does. When I tell her to turn it off, she does. And you know what else she does? She tells me the weather. And then she starts playing music, which sometimes is a little bit of like an overachiever move, like shut the fuck up, chill. I don't need all that in the morning. Calm down. But you know what? She does it. I don't need it. I mean, I don't know. I got a phone that does. I don't know. This is just insane. I don't know why Nintendo's doing this. I think it's insane. Here's my question. This is a Nintendo Online exclusive thing.
Yeah.
Does this get scalped? Is this a scalper thing?
You're asking that question as if you're being serious to ask
don't know. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to sell to a point where it's like, is it going to be like the 64 controllers?
Drip, remind me what the name of this alarm clock is.
Oh,
Alarmo.
Yeah, the Alarmo. Are you typing it into eBay right now?
Yep. Let's
Good
see,
idea.
Drip. Let's see. Live, Drip asks a question, and I have the answers.
I can't wait.
I searched Alarmo Nintendo clock on eBay right now. And here are some of the results. The first one's a new listing. Nintendo Sound Clock Alarmo, limited Nintendo Store Japanese, new 2024. $199 or best offer. And
double price.
There is another one here. There's another $199. There's another $209.
So scalpers are going to eat
There's
this.
another one.
God.
This is Canadian pricing, so I think it's a little bit high. It's probably closer to 200, but it's 256 Canadian dollars. 199, 299, 199, 225 or best offer. And 169, that one's a good deal. 168. I think I've made my point, Drip, just by that quick search. I would never have asked that question.
Insane.
Honestly, you should be pretty embarrassed that you asked that question because everything.
I'm not embarrassed that I asked the question. I think it's more embarrassing that dude, it's a clock.
But
it's an alarm clock.
It's exclusive because it's only for online members. And believe it or not everybody is a Nintendo Switch Online member. Some people think it's a bad deal, which you and I have done an episode about that. That's kind of ridiculous at this point. Nintendo Switch Online is a good, honestly, it's probably one of the better deals in gaming. And that's not my Nintendo homerism coming out.
No, it really is.
That's facts and
it's
money.
It's a great deal.
It's cheaper than everything else, and it offers a good value compared to like what other things offer you.
For the money, yeah, it's great.
For the money.
It's perfect.
Anyway, it's exclusive, so people can't buy this thing, and the people who want to buy it are. And I get these; they're not scalping them right this second because they think that people are going to buy those prices necessarily. They're scalping them right now because they're assuming they're going to go out of stock because everything goes out of stock these days. And once they do go out of stock, even somebody who has Nintendo Switch Online is going to have FOMO because they missed out on the dumb alarm clock.
I mean, dude, whatever. Okay.
And Drip, I guarantee there's at least one person listening right now who's thinking to themselves, you know, I kind of did think about wanting it, and now that I see the scalp prices, I should go get my hands on one right now for retail because they are still available as far as I know. As of an hour ago, when I checked Twitter, they were still available.
Get them yet?
Yeah, you could pre-order them. And if you were lucky enough to be in the New York, I think it's the New York Nintendo store, you could buy them today. Are they still available as of right now? As we're recording this episode,
we got stars. Yes, add to cart. I can still add it to cart.
See, I would say this. I would say if any of you guys are interested in buying it, don't be pressured or not pressured to buy it or not to buy it based off of FOMO or peer pressure.
They're not going to be exclusive to the online forever.
That's not true. Why do you say that?
Yes, it is. They already said that.
Oh, did they say that?
Yeah,
I didn't realize
this is only a limited time thing that it's for online members, and you can also get it at the Nintendo store in New York. But they're gonna be available everywhere eventually. They're just doing it for online members right now.
They're gauging interest. They're probably gauging about what the next supply ship should be based off what the interest is.
God.
But no, people will scalp Drip. That's silly to think that they're not going to scalp it. They scalp everything.
Yeah, clearly they are. It's just, it's just crazy. It's just wild. It's an alarm clock.
It is.
We've spent way too much time on this alarm clock.
No, man, not enough time. It's one of the
not the hardware we wanted this morning.
No, it's not. It's one of the October surprises that we've gotten so far in October.
Yeah.
And there's actually,
I'll tell you what, it was a fucking surprise.
It was.
For sure.
And
I was very, very surprised. I will tell you that. I was extremely surprised when I saw that this morning.
Yeah. And speaking of October surprises and things that you're surprised to see, Nintendo also did something a few hours before this podcast went live. They announced something, Drip, that I'm going to let you take over and tell us about.
Yeah, this was crazy. This is where we're going to get our bucket out, our tinfoil hat.
Oh,
so they announced.
Wait, get your tinfoil hat out because I also have my tinfoil hat. I'm going to show you mine.
No, I'm not. It doesn't fit on my head right, especially with these headphones.
Okay, well, mine. You want me to show you my tinfoil hat?
Do you actually have one?
This is the original tinfoil hat that you forgot that I have. And yeah, I tell you right now, you're not going to like it very much.
Oh, God, no. It's a knife. Stop. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Put it away.
Oh, here's my tinfoil hat, Drip.
Why? This is so dumb.
Go ahead.
All right. So anyway, I'm turning your camera off. I can't even look at you.
Good.
Okay, I can't see you now.
If you're listening at home, I'm sorry. You got to watch YouTube.
Okay, so they announced they're going to be doing a play test. It's basically to see how whatever they're testing is going to perform. So here's the kicker. You have to be an existing Nintendo Switch Online member with the expansion pack, which is weird. And at 8 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow, I'm sorry, 8 a.m. Pacific time, not p.m., 8 a.m. So that's what? 10 o'clock here?
I'm dumping with a knife.
12?
Yeah, it's like, I think it's 11 o'clock.
Yeah, 11. So 11 o'clock tomorrow, you can start signing up. I'm going to go over what this is because I've got some ideas of what I think this is actually going to be. And I think I've got even more ideas of what this means for like what's actually going to be happening in this time period. I don't know. There's some interesting stuff here. So they're saying they're going to perform a test called Nintendo Switch Online Playtest Program related to a new feature for Nintendo Switch Online service offered for the Nintendo Switch system. They say they're going to recruit. They are going to recruit people
who's drunk
to participate. So they're going to recruit people to do this test. If you have the online and the expansion pack, which is weird that you have to be an online member and an expansion pack member. I think that's very interesting. We're going to come back to that.
I'll take it. That's extra value to the expansion pack. I'll take it.
Yeah, and it may just be that. That's the thing. It may just be that. But this is the thing where I'm starting to be like, okay, I think I know where they're going here. Customers will need to download exclusive software to their Nintendo Switch systems in order to participate. That's very, very interesting. You're going to have to download something. We're going to come back to that, too. I want to go over all this really quickly before we start jumping into that.
Yeah.
Now, there's guidelines. Now, to qualify, you have to have the expansion pack. You have to be a member as of Wednesday, 10/9/2024. So that's gone. You already have to be a member. You have to be at least 18. And you have to have an account registered in Japan, United States, United Kingdom, France, Germany, Italy, or Spain.
One of them. Yes, obviously.
So then there's a page. It's going to open up tomorrow. I already have it ready on my phone. I'm definitely going to be right there tomorrow to make sure. But here's the thing. The recruitment period. This is very interesting, too. It's Thursday, tomorrow, the 10th, all the way to Tuesday, the 15th. So 5 full days.
So it's not the kind of thing where like you need to get in line and risk not. It's like not getting.
That's what I'm saying. It's not like there's going to be 1,000 spots. There's hundreds of thousands of spots. Clearly, if they have it open for 5 days.
My only thought is that maybe there's only a certain amount of players who get in every day, and they give you 5 days to get that chance.
No, I don't think it's going to be like that.
I don't know. I don't know which way it's going to be. I'm just saying that's the two options. Either it's just through those 5 days, or like it's going to, or there's a certain amount of slots that you're going to be able to acquire, and they run out per day, and you can. Oh, okay, better luck next. Try again tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, they're not going to run out per day. I can tell you that.
We're going to find out tomorrow. We're going to find out. We'll let you guys know next week on the show.
They're not going to run out per day because it says right here they're going to close the application process early if the number of accepted participants has reached its limit.
Oh, well, Okay, so how do you interpret that? I interpret that a certain way.
I interpret that as when their spaces are gone, they'll stop. I don't think they're going to limit it to the day.
Okay,
that's why it's 5 days. There's going to be hundreds of thousands of spots. They clearly want to stress whatever they're going to be testing.
Oh, did you? No, not hundreds of thousands of spots. You missed. Did you click on the link and read? I just read something very important. I'm going to try to zoom in and so you guys can actually see this. So this playlist is expected to accept as many as 10,000 participants. So that means literally only 10,000 slots.
Okay.
So this, I'll tell
that's
you.
Interesting.
I will tell you.
See that part.
Yeah, I'm glad I noticed that because here's what. Let me tell you one thing, guys. If you guys want in on this, wake the hell up on tomorrow morning. Because that is going to go away in an instant. This is not going to be from 10:10 to 10:15. This is going to be from 10:10, 8 a.m. Pacific to like 10:10, 10 p.m., 10 a.m. Pacific. I guarantee you within 2 hours, it's going to be all out of slots.
Yeah,
that's 10,000 is nothing.
This is weird. That is weird. Okay, let's stop there and talk about that part for a second because that is kind of interesting. 10,000 spots, up to as many as. We don't even know if it's going to be that many.
It says it doesn't say up to. It's what it says specifically is this playlist is expected to accept as many as 10,000. It doesn't say it's not going to go above that and it's not going to go below that. It's very loose with that wording. So it's hard to interpret whether they mean
now as many as
stop as 10,000
or I feel like 10,000 is the limit.
It doesn't say that though. I agree with you. I feel like that as well. I'm just saying it doesn't say that explicitly.
Yeah. Okay. Either way, if you're, I don't know. I just feel like there's going to be that many people trying to sign up in the first hour.
I agree. 10 minutes.
Like, yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I feel like if you're not in there within 10 minutes, you're probably going to miss out. It's my guess.
The fact that it's 5 days at this point is kind of strange. So I don't know. We'll see what happens tomorrow morning. We'll be able to know more then.
10,000 a day? Who knows? Maybe that's why there's 5 days in there because it's 10,000 a day.
No, it's not going to be that.
Who knows?
I mean, it says the play test, not per day.
In Nintendo fashion, it's kind of vague and left for interpretation. Whether that's due to translation or it's due to something else, I don't know. But it's very typical.
Okay.
Typical.
This
Nintendo.
is interesting. The play test period is Wednesday, the 23rd, which is not next Wednesday, is it? The Wednesday after that.
That would be the Wednesday after that, correct? 2 weeks.
Okay. And then it lasts until November 5th. That's 2 weeks, right? Yes.
That is a 2 week period. That's correct.
So a 2 week period is what this is. It's a long time. It's a long time. That is doing things, maybe getting some information, fixing things, changing things, then letting people go back in and do it again and see it again. That's a lot of time to figure some stuff out.
I agree.
My first thought, and it's weird, but I feel like this is GameCube.
I didn't expect you to say that, and I was not. My head was not in the space of we're testing out a console. That's not where my head was.
Okay,
but that's interesting.
This is why I think that. I think the qualifications.
Yeah.
Where was it?
Yeah.
No. I'm saying how to apply. No, where is it?
Yeah, the qualifications were that you have to be an expansion pack member.
That too. That's a big one. But then the fact that you're going to have to download something to your Switch. Which when we get new systems, we have to download the new app for the system.
Yeah.
So that's where my head goes first, but that's the easy one. That's not the fun one. That's what I think it probably is going to be. And I think I'll go ahead and add this in too. Your whole direct this month thing.
Yeah.
I think all this lines up because they're not going to be able to hide what this is once people start playing it. It's going to be out there.
What do you mean by that?
So at the same, I mean,
what do you expect? What do you expect to see that they can't hide?
If it's a new system, we're going to know it's a new system. Like if they're not going to be like, oh, don't tell anybody. I'm going to get it on my Switch and be like, oh, it's fucking GameCube. And I'm going to tell everybody it's GameCube. They know that. They know everybody's going to talk about it. So whatever this is, if it's something like that, is also going to have to be announced very close to that time or right before it actually happens.
Okay.
After they pick the playtest people, right before that that playtest period, before you download all the stuff, they're probably going to have a direct, and whatever this is, if it's something like that, will be in that direct, is my guess.
That is a very interesting theory that I would love to come true.
So let me go back and look at this. Playtest period. Okay. Playtest period is Wednesday. They have directs on Wednesday. So 10/23 this month.
All right.
The 23rd.
All right, Russell Brand, get your your conspiracy ass in here.
Hey, listen. I mean, come on.
Yeah, Drip, they have it on Wednesdays. They've also had it on Tuesdays. They've also had it on Mondays. They've had directs on Thursdays. And they've had directs on Fridays.
No, they don't do directs on Fridays.
I guarantee you there's one. Bet.
I don't think so.
Bet.
I did a whole video on all the directs of the Switch era, and I don't think one of them was on Friday.
You did. I edited that video, and I don't remember it being on Friday either. But that doesn't mean that wasn't there. Your memory and my memory are not worth a damn.
All right,
Drip.
listen. All I'm saying is they do directs on Wednesdays.
That is
so. Let's say the play stuff starts that morning, and it is what it is. Then like, oh God, it's GameCube games, whatever. Oh, and it doesn't even start till 6 p.m. So it's going to be later in the day.
Yeah, because you got to remember it's Japan. We're dealing with Japan time. So 6 p.m. Pacific is going to be like the morning of in Japan. The next day. So, or the day before. I can't remember which one it is, but yeah. So that makes sense. It makes sense. That's why it starts. When we get a game release, it's always like in the middle of in the afternoon or something. Actually, if it's 6 p.m. our time, it's I don't want to make assumptions.
Wait,
anymore.
what is PDT?
That's Pacific.
PDT is Pacific?
Daylight time.
Okay. That makes sense.
Welcome to America.
Yeah, well, okay.
It's elsewhere as well.
Cool. So then, yeah, 6 p.m. That's when it starts, at 6 p.m. And what time is that here? 9.
I don't know, Drip. I'm not sure.
It's 9. So the test period doesn't even start till 9 that night. They could totally do a direct that day easily and tell us, oh yeah, GameCube's coming. The playtest that you signed up for, that's what it's for. And if you were in the playtest, you can start tonight. We're gonna have it'll be out this date. This is what we're doing. We're trying to get this online stuff, whatever. I mean, they may explain a little bit of it. I think it makes sense. It could also be some crazy feature, something brand new that we don't know about the online thing that's going to be something with the Switch 2. Maybe a cross-gen thing, because if they're testing it on Switch 1, I mean, obviously they're not going to just say, we're testing it on Switch 1, but it's actually for Switch 2. That makes no sense.
I don't think you're crazy about anything you've said. I will say this, though. I mean, it'd be a big stretch to assume that it's going to be GameCube.
Yeah, it's a stretch.
My first thought, or even any console, any virtual console, let alone GameCube. I'm saying it would be a stretch to assume that they're going to give us a whole play test of GameCube or whatever console early. My first thought was that there's a new structure, a new architect of Switch Online, something that's brand new. They've done the thing we've asked. They've completely redone the infrastructure. They burnt the old infrastructure and went, this is the new one. We want to test this. The only way we can really do that before the new hardware comes out is to give access to our current members to do so. So that my first thought is there's going to be nothing different. There's going to be an app that you download and that's the only thing.
That's basically the new servers or whatever it is. That's the
only question mark I have. I don't know what this thing we're downloading. I don't know what that's going to be. That's my only question mark.
It could just be an app where you go in and then there's games in there and it's just running on
that could
whatever the new network is, and they're trying to just stress the network and see if it's working correctly.
That's essentially the first thing I thought was what you just explained. That's my first thought.
It could just be, we could be getting into Mario Kart games. Yeah. Just online Mario Kart games in there or something. You know what I mean? Or it could be like just random
That's why they choose the expansion pack members, because they're the highest paying tier, and they're like, listen, we're going to give you a couple free games here. We're going to give you Mario Kart if you don't already have it. We're going to give you Splatoon. We're going to give you
I don't think they're going to
Smash.
give you games.
No.
But they're just going to, it's just going to be in there to play.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean they're going to give us games. What I mean is in this download, there's going to be some included online matches of, whether you own it or not, Mario Kart, Splatoon, Smash, etc. And we want you to hop in those matches through this app, play, and we're going to get bug crashes, bug reports, and we're also going to ask you guys, there's going to be a section where you guys can leave us whatever, right? So that's my first thought. It's just something simple as that.
God, but then even that, you and I have talked about this too. There's still a huge problem with the Switch itself, and the Switch is just Wi-Fi in general, just the way that it connects to the internet. So it's like, how much of a test could they even do?
Right. So
with the way that the Switch is now anyway.
So the Switch, it's slow, right? Where we the bandwidth it's able to produce is bottlenecked big time based off your internet, because most people's internet is better than what the Switch is capable of doing. Even if you have cheap internet, it's still the Switch is it's limited at 15 megabytes per second.
Yes,
in
we did a whole breakdown.
We did do
that. I taught a master class on Wi-Fi. Remember?
Yeah, I do remember that. So most people's internet, even the inexpensive internet, it's going to be your Switch is bottlenecking your internet. So I don't know how that's going to work with this playtest. My thought is that the bottlenecking is not that important. It's just going to be, doesn't matter how much the Switch has capabilities of internet, we just need to test it. We just need, even if it's not on ID, even the Switch 2 is going to way surpass the amount of bandwidth. We still need to test the actual structure itself with something, with a large amount of people, and that's what this is all about.
So I mean, that could be it too. That was my next thought. I mean, that was honestly my first thought. It's a new online infrastructure. It's got to be. It's what it's got to be.
I still kind of believe that's why I lean right now is sitting here right now. I lean. I think it's infrastructure.
I think it's GameCube. I honestly,
I would love GameCube. That.
I think there's something else with the GameCube where it's some type of, I don't know. Maybe they're doing something different with it online. Maybe there's another extra thing that we're going to see with the GameCube that's going to kind of like, maybe they need to test it before they put it out.
Yeah.
This is such a weird thing for Nintendo to do anyway.
Yeah.
This is such a strange thing for them to do.
It is abnormal. It's unusual.
But that's the thing too. Doing it this deep in the Switch's life makes me that's what kind of makes me think like, okay, what if this is like a Switch 2 type of thing, something new it's so late. You know what I mean?
Love that segue, because that's exactly what we're going to talk about right now is the state of the Nintendo Switch in 2024 and how that pertains to the next console, the Switch successor, because we all know it's coming within the next 5 months. Right? Is that math correct? March 2024, end of March. Is that 5 months from now? Somewhere around there, 5-6 months, doesn't really matter. We know it's coming. We know it's being announced between that time, not coming out, but we know it's being announced at least within the next 6 months. So yeah, this is the red flags raise that maybe this could have something to do with infrastructure for the Switch 2, and also could just be a push software update. Because don't forget this trip, okay? Let's go backwards, but also forwards at the same time. We were just talking about how would this make sense? The Switch is bottlenecked with the internet speeds. How would this test pertain to the Switch 2 and the new online infrastructure? Well, let me answer that for you. This pertains because the original Switch is also getting that same infrastructure upgrade, because it's the same. It's going to be all on the same infrastructure. It's going to be still
be on the same
relevant.
Thing, yeah.
So if people playing Mario Kart 8 on the regular Switch, who puts that game there's person A playing Mario Kart 8 on the regular Switch in 2027, okay? Person on the Switch 2 playing Mario Kart 8 on the Switch 2 in 2027, they're going to be able to match up together, and to do that, they all need to be on the same online infrastructure, because the Switch is going to be supported past its successor's release date. So that's why I want to go backwards.
Okay,
that's all I want to say is that it does need to work. This infrastructure needs to work on the Switch 2.
It does need, if that's what it is.
I'm sorry. This infrastructure needs to work on the original Switch.
On the Switch, yeah. If that's what it is, yes, I agree. I mean, I don't know, man. I think it's GameCube, but we'll see. We'll see. The Switch 2, though.
I think it's Gritty's titties. Gritty Gang.
Okay, well, whatever. Maybe.
I've been drinking the beer again. I'm sorry.
So the Switch 2. Speaking of that, we're talking possible directs this month.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about this first, Rip. September came and went. For the first time in Nintendo Switch's life, there has been no September Direct.
Yeah, this is the first time. This is the first September, I believe.
7 years, 2017.
Yeah. That was like something I used to say in videos. Like there's going to be like, duh.
On this podcast, we talked
Yes,
about it.
duh.
I said for a couple years straight, the Zelda September Direct. Remember those?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it was a given. It was always September Direct was happening.
Yeah.
And they moved everything out of September. Then we thought, okay, something is going on. What are they doing? And actually, they just needed to really make a bunch of room to announce their clock because really big announcement. They had to make sure they had everything out of the way the month before because October, look out, the clock's coming. What the hell's that thing called? God,
The Alarmo.
The Alarmo's coming. Get out of here.
Guys, we got to make room for the Alarmo.
No, but
Actually, and to be
Nothing in
fair, hold on,
September,
Drip,
which
to
is
be-
crazy.
To be fair, its name is not Alarmo. It is, but it's not. It's actually the Nintendo Sound Clock.
Alarmo.
Or whatever, Alarmo.
It's a terrible
It's
name.
like
I don't care what it's called.
It's like its surname is Alarmo, but that's its given name. Alarmo is its given name, but its surname is Nintendo Sound Clock.
Okay, I don't care what it's called.
It's very important we get
It's
this
a terrible
right.
name. Nothing in September. Weird. The fact that they basically did 2 directs in one the month before, looked like they were clearing the way. We got nothing. Came and went. Nothing in September. October still. I mean, everybody who said September was happening has now moved their predictions to October.
I would like to say, Grip, you might want to play the anthem to our country real quick, because I, in my slightly drunken state, would like to say one thing. I, Uncle Jeeb, in the year 2024, was completely correct about not a chance in hell that there was going to be a Nintendo announcement in September of 2024. I was certain about it. I told everyone. I tweeted about it. I podcasted about it. I talked to you and other people about it. You all doubted me. And I told you that there would be nothing from Nintendo in September. But Jeeve, every September, something happens every year. It's gotta be the time. It's gotta be the year. Well, guess what, people? Oh, say Ken. I don't know the words. Let me tell you what, people. You were wrong, and I was right. So therefore, I say, while this song wraps up, go fuck off. I was right.
So nothing in September. Everyone who said, "Oh, it's happening in September," I got the inside track. Leakers, everybody had the inside track. September. I liked September. I thought it made sense. I wanted September. Obviously, didn't happen. Everybody says October now. I want to talk about what you and I talked about on the phone the other day, which was, I think you told me that these are some rumors that are going around. That there is going to be a direct, and the Switch 2 could be included at the end of that direct.
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter. I see a lot of things on Twitter, but because you and I do this show, we gotta talk about a lot of the new news because that's what keeps this show alive, folks. I mentioned to you that's what I saw, and I don't necessarily believe that. Especially for this month, but
before you even get into that,
Mm-hmm.
I will say, as soon as he told me that, I said no, and I think I've said on the show before, no, they won't do that. It's going to have its own thing. It's way too big to be put in the end of a direct. But Jeep we talked about it on the phone. He kind of changed my mind a little bit on that. I could see it happening. I still don't think that's how they'll do it, but I see a world where that could happen now. You can go ahead and explain about how that would work, because I don't remember exactly what you said. The way you explained it, you really had me.
Yeah.
You had me.
Yeah, I wish I could remember exactly what I said. I wish I remember when I was saying it, I remember thinking, "Oh man, I wish we were recording this right now," because I was just on.
Yeah,
one.
You had me, so you don't even remember. Okay, let me see if I can.
It's not that I don't remember. It's not that I don't remember. I actually wrote in the pod chat here, a private one, that kind of what I said. But basically, what I'm getting at is here, Nintendo. From what I've learned, as covering them and being a fan of theirs since I was a little kid and not covering them as an adult. What I've learned is that there are a bunch of showmen over there. They are. They like to build suspense. I feel
that's
like
what it was. That's what it was.
they build suspense. They like to keep us on our heels. They tell us months ago, for example, the Switch 2 is going to be released in like a 12-month period. So get ready for that. And now we all sit and wait for that announcement. Just an announcement for an announcement.
But gee,
when they do the one last thing, they always do a one last thing. They love in a Nintendo Direct, a regular Nintendo Direct. Let's use the one where they announced Tears of the Kingdom, for example. They love to wait to the end to give you the big, meaty potato story. And I've been saying for a while, I thought the Switch 2 was going to come out. And when it comes out, it's going to be just a little trailer. It's going to be a teaser. Because, again, that's part of being a showman about Nintendo's going to give us a little tease. And I still believe the first information we receive of the Switch 2 is going to be a tease. It's not going to be a date, price, showing, shebang. It's not going to be anything like that. It's going to be a tease. It's going to be a tease, and then weeks later they're going to show us they're going to announce another announcement where they're going to say
they're going
to say in 2 weeks after the first tease, on this date we're going to show you the console and reveal its name, and then they're going to say, pricing and date coming later. It's going to be a 5-6 month process. But on Twitter, I saw, that's better English, that an October Direct is coming, and at the end of the October Direct, they're going to show us, at the very end, the Nintendo Switch 2. And I thought, that's where Drip was saying that's never going to happen. And I said, no, I think it's exactly on par for Nintendo because they like to keep us waiting. They like to keep us in suspense. They like to tease us. And I think if there is an October Direct for the Switch, all of those games in that Direct, of course, are coming to the original Switch. Don't get me wrong here. They will be coming to the original Switch. And they're going to frame it as original Switch stuff. But you're going to be able to assume that all the games they show are going to be Switch 2 compatible as well. And at the end, they're going to say one more thing. And that one more thing is going to be a flashy, light show, cinematic, fun 45 seconds.
You're missing one
of a console that we don't know the name of, and they're going to announce more information later.
You're missing one of the huge things that you sold me on. A lot of that is what you sold me on. You're like, okay,
what's
they
one
can
of
do
the
it because that's what they do. The one thing that I really was like, oh yeah, they have been doing that, is every event that they've had since they made that announcement, they say there will be no mention of the successor to the Nintendo Switch.
Yep.
But if they just announced the Direct and then didn't say that, people would lose their mind.
Yes.
The hype would go absolutely insane, and it would.
Yeah,
I remember that now. To say,
yeah.
We will say, they just have to not say, nothing will be, that's all they do. They have to just not say that.
They've been setting that up for themselves for a long time now because why else are they saying in these Directs, there's no need for them to say there's going to be no announcement because it only helps them to make people think that there's going to be an announcement at that Direct. By telling people directly, this announcement has no correlation to the successor of the Nintendo Switch, all you're doing is tamping down that hype. But Nintendo's smarter than that. They're doing that all for a reason. It's for a build-up for when they finally do announce the thing at the end of a Nintendo Switch Direct. They're going to not say in a separate tweet elsewhere that this is not, there's no information for Nintendo Switch 2 successor.
Yeah. If we get
and that's going to drive the internet mad for that week from that announcement to when the Direct actually happens. They're going to go, hey, we're going to go, guys. We're going to make an emergency podcast, gang. They just announced a Direct and didn't say that there's going to be no announcement of the successor.
Everybody will. Oh, my God. Everybody's going to be going crazy. Because, they have set that up. So if there is a Direct this month and it doesn't have... at the announcement of the Direct, there will be no mention of the successor. That's not the tagline at the end. That will be interesting. Like, okay, here we go. The best case scenario is that they say there's going to be no mention, right? We get hype, and then the Direct starts, and I'm going to assume that it's going to be a regular Direct as normal, or they're just showing Switch trailers for regular Switch OG games that are coming or whatever, right?
and then at the end they'll do Switch 2. But the best case scenario is that at the beginning of the Direct, they really fuck with us and go, here it is. And we see it, and then the rest of the 20 minutes or whatever it is like footage from the console. That is like the best case scenario.
Yeah, I mean, that's that. I don't think that's how it's going to go down.
The internet is going to need some Kleenexes, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
If that happens.
Let me just, I got to burst your bubble on all this a little bit.
Sorry.
Because you have to remember this. When they announced the Switch, it was like an event. Like, it was an event. They invited press.
And quickly.
Like, it was a whole thing.
Sorry, no, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I mean, it was a whole thing. Like, they made it like, hey, this is what's happening. Come on, we're going to show you the stuff. Just come on, everybody get ready. And they made it a whole thing. I just don't see them, especially knowing how important this transition from Switch to Switch, this is very, very important for them. I don't know if they're going to just leave this up to a one more thing. I feel like they have to be like, they have to get this right. They do. And they know they have to get this right. That's why it's been pushed 7 years. I mean, that's why it's been pushed so long. They know this has to be perfect. It has to be seamless. It has to be exactly what we want. And it looks like it is. But they've got to present it. They've got to give it to us the right way. And I think the way they did the Switch was the right way. I think they're going to do the same thing again. That's why I do think we are going to see it this month. I think they're going to follow. I think they're just going to follow exactly what they did at this point. We didn't get it last month. I wanted it. But I mean, now that we're in October, I mean, who knows? They may not announce it this month. We may not see it till next year. Which honestly, at this point, with what I'm doing with my Switch Lite, I kind of hope they wait a little bit longer now. I want to enjoy my Switch Lite that I'm making with the OLED screen for a while. But I think if they're going to do it, I think they're going to do it big. And I think they're going to follow what they did with the Switch because it worked. And they cannot have another Wii U situation on their hand. They just can't.
I would like to remind you that we are in a different era of Nintendo. As you've pointed out.
We are. Yes,
we are in a different era of Nintendo.
Lots of
and
different
I'm not
people
saying that they need to change the format of how they announce the Switch 2. I'm not saying that. They don't need to.
It is very possible that they could, though.
It is very possible they could. They're not going to change it because they think that the old format was bad and they need to change it. It's just they could think differently now. There's been a lot. The world has changed from 2017 to 2014. To 2024. Nintendo has changed a ton.
The people in charge of Nintendo have completely changed.
The console they were selling has changed. I mean, the Wii U was a big failure. The outlook of Nintendo was bleak in 2017 before the Switch, and after the Switch, it was not bleak. So again, all I have to say is a lot has changed, and with the announcement of the Switch 2, I tend to lean that they're going to change the way they announce the Switch 2 from the Switch 1, not because they need to, but because they can, they should, and here's why. A teaser trailer, it's not that they are going to risk, just by doing a 45-second teaser, is not going to risk the console, not going to risk the company. If anything, it could do the opposite. It's going to drive people insane, go mad, and leave many YouTube and free advertising reviews everywhere. Because they can show information. They can show information. In 45 seconds, there's plenty of time to show us something.
Do you know how many videos I can make with 45 seconds of footage of a Switch 2?
They have to say nothing. They have just got to show. Yeah. Look at that screen. Look at those new Joy-Con. Look at that new dock. Look at that box potentially. We might see a name even. I don't know. The name could possibly tell more information about it. They have to say nothing in the trailer. They just got to show it. And of course they're going to have the biggest high money people ever making this trailer. So they're going to do it. They're going to show it off with justice, and we're going to see, like, oh yeah, this thing's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. And at the end of the 45 seconds, what's the guy's name who comes out? Always, I forget the name of the man.
Oh, I don't know. The guy,
whoever comes out
I forget his name.
At the end of a big announcement for Nintendo. Who knows? Maybe the person who's been in charge of the hardware could come out and say, "You just saw 45 seconds of our Nintendo Switch successor. Here is the date for the next time you're going to hear more information." Or he could say, "We will be giving you more information in short term, blah, 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 right? I mean, they have to say nothing. They just need to
Right.
show us. And the showing
We'll
us
see.
of the Switch 2 is going to be all I need. And a lot of the internet is all they're going to need
Yeah.
to go
Let me ask you this.
insane. And the free marketing is going to flow for Nintendo.
me ask you this.
There's very little that can happen for Nintendo that's going to mess up this generation for them. The only thing that I think they can do, to mess up their generation is 1A and 1B. 1A is to change the name from Switch to something else. And 1B is to make it not a hybrid. As long as it's still the Switch family with the Switch name, which it's going to be because they keep calling it the Switch successor, it's probably going to be another Switch. And as long as it's hybrid, which of course it will be if it's a Switch, there's nothing Nintendo can do to mess up the Switch 2. I say now. Let's hope that I'm correct.
Okay. I think you're right about that. And I think we know it's a hybrid. But to end this, if it's not October, when is it? If it's not this month and they don't follow the Switch, whatever, when is it?
2025. I couldn't tell you when. My guess would be March, the last second. If it's not this month,
And I'm talking the
it's not
announcement, not the release.
Right. If it's not this month and it's not going to be December, it's probably not going to be January. It's less likely it's February, and it's most likely going to be March. The last literal second they have, the deadline they gave themselves, at the end of March is when they could do it.
Yeah,
It's
I
October makes them.
feel-
If they're on time with things, October is the time. What is the date I said weeks ago? Like the 21st is when they announce a direct, and then the 23rd is when it happens or something, right? Of this month.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I
We
still
can go
kinda-
back and look.
That's
Well,
second to last week.
hold on now. There's something else, and I think this is a long shot, but I just want to bring it up just because I've heard it mentioned. I don't think it's going to happen, but there's something that happens in December every year where we actually saw the Xbox Series X for the first time, the Game Awards.
Oh,
They revealed the Xbox Series X at the Game Awards. Nintendo hasn't been there in years, though. It's been years since they've done anything.
and we're going
at
to be
the Game
streaming
Awards.
that. We're going to be streaming that event.
It's been years.
I'm not
I
sure if
doubt
it's-
that's going to happen.
I'm not sure if it's going
I
to be
don't
on your
think it's gonna
channel.
happen.
It could be on your YouTube channel. Make sure you guys make sure you subscribe to Drip's YouTube channel.
I think we should do it here. We should do it on the podcast channel.
I think
for
we
sure.
should too. Maybe we simulcast on both if I can figure that one out. Maybe we do that. We could figure that one out potentially. But yeah, we're gonna stream that, and it would be kind of cool to see Nintendo there for the first time. And it would make sense if it's October, if we get a little teaser in October, and then in December the Game Awards we see more. Like for example, we just see the product. We don't hear about what it is. They don't say anything in October, but we see it in October. And then in December, they drop the name.
Yeah, or something.
The
And then
Nintendo
like
Super
January,
Switch.
they
The
give us a
Nintendo
full.
Super Switch is announced on the Game Awards. At the Game
Dude, I'll
Awards.
riot. I'll burn my whole house down.
The internet will. The Game Awards. No, you're going to see the Game Awards.
If they call it the Super Switch, dude,
Everyone in the audience.
I will light this place on fire. I will absolutely light this place on fire.
Oh man, can you imagine?
I'll be living under the bridge downtown.
Nintendo, do you understand how happy you're going to make a majority of your fan base if you do exactly what I say you should do? Just give us a teaser in October. And then in December, give us the name of the Game Awards with a logo and a price even maybe. But I don't think
anything's gonna be at the
we
Game
don't need to go
Awards.
that far in December. All we need to see in December is
There
the
ain't gonna
name.
be shit in December.
We need to
They're not gonna do anything at the Game Awards. I'm telling you.
We need to
I bring that up just to cover everything that it could happen.
I know,
There's
but
no
I,
way.
at
They
this
haven't
point,
been there
Drip,
in years.
at this point, Drip, I'm just speaking to Nintendo.
Well, you said it. This is a completely different landscape than it was in 2017. Even the year that it was starting to move away from all that stuff. But even when they announced the Xbox Series X, like I don't know, like dude, E3 is gone. All these events, like they're gone. Like the Summer Game Fest or whatever, like that's garbage.
Yeah.
Like, these companies do their own events now. They don't need Jeff Keighley. They don't need the Game Awards. They don't need shit. Nintendo definitely doesn't. Everybody else has taken the Nintendo model and they started doing their own directs.
Yeah.
I don't think they give that announcement to anybody. I bring it up just because it would be crazy if it happened, but I don't think it's happening. I don't think it's even remotely possible that they give that to Jeff Keighley. They're going to do that on their own time when they want to do it.
I'm going to wrap this show up with podcast Q&A because I mentioned to you guys that we were going to start doing this, and I'm going to start right now. I'm looking at our new Discord server, which you guys should be a part of. If you're not already, please join our Discord server. It's in the link in the description of your podcast feed. I'm going to be natural as crap right now. So let's read the first one I see from September 1st from PowerMad. My question is Drip really a leaker? If so, then how come he was wrong about Twilight Princess and Wind Waker?
Well, of course I'm actually a leaker. I'm obviously a leaker. That's why. I did I not correctly predict Pikmin 4 out of nowhere? Who else said Pikmin 4 was going to be at that direct? Was I not the only one?
You did
Are
say
you
that.
not entertained? Are you not entertained? Of course I'm a leaker. And I was only wrong about the Twilight Princess and Wind Waker thing because I got some bad information. That's all it was.
A lot of people
done.
did, to be fair. A lot of people did.
Yeah, a lot of people did. You know, we just got some wires got crossed. It was just it's a weird time, you know?
Next question.
Bad reception.
Next question from Jeff. If Twilight Princess and Wind Waker, I'm sorry, I got to restart that because it's a joke. Okay. If Twilight Princess and Wind Waker is Wind, oh my god, I keep fucking this up. If Twilight Princess and Wind is Waker, then how is GameCube? I'm sorry, Jeff, I did your joke dirty.
Yeah, I don't know how to respond to that.
Jeff, it's a good joke, Jeff. I'm a little drunk and dyslexic. Next one last one I'll read for now.
You gave it hell.
Last one I'll read for now is from Parallax Bottles. Thank you, Parallax Bottles. What is your favorite topic that you've covered on the pod? Drip?
Oh, God, we've been doing this for years.
Literally.
Dude, it's always the Switch Pro. Switch Pro. When we were on that train for a while, it has to be.
Yeah, I have an obvious one. It's Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah,
that was a really fun
the hype
years.
Built to Tears of the Kingdom was amazing.
It was. I can't think of anything I had more fun with one exception. This isn't a topic, but this is something we've done and we continue to do. Is have guests. We've had the pleasure of speaking to many people on this show, and most of them we very much appreciate. No, we appreciate all the people coming on our show. It was a pleasure to have them all. I say that because Johnny, Johnny's the one guy who's like, I don't know about that guy. He's kind of pisses me off a lot. But no, we appreciate everyone who's coming on our show. It's been you
guys in your Philly rivalry. Just
it's been a blast to have everybody on our show. So they're not a topic, of course, but having guests and be able to speak to people who normally I would have never thought would ever agree to come on our stinky little Nintendo show. So thank you to all of our guests who've been coming on. But as far as topics, yeah, the Tears of the Kingdom is absolutely the most fun topic.
I have to agree. The Switch Pro stuff was fun, but yeah, the build up to Tears of the Kingdom was amazing.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah.
Every time we got a trailer, that was great. That was great. Good question.
Yeah, and we have more questions that we'll get to in the next episode. Make sure to DM me or at least publicly shame me in our Discord server that I forgot. Like if next week if I forget to read our Q&As again, just to harass me in our Discord, and I'll do it. But thank you guys for leaving your questions. We got more to get to next week. I want to thank, because we're not doing an after show, so I just really want to quickly thank Coca Baby, who I just seen in our chat, Power Mad, Coffees with Games, our new podcast guest on the show this week, Daniel. Who else?
Spartan.
Full Metal, Spartan. Appreciate all you guys for being here in this episode. We're going to actually sign off for good because we're doing no after show this week. So those of you listening and those of you in the stream, we are done for this week. We're going to see you guys in the next episode. Make sure to follow Drip on his YouTube. He's got videos coming there. Follow me on my Twitch and my YouTube. All those links are down below. We do content over there as well. And we'll see you guys next Wednesday.